What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Friday, August 6th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. I'm pumped up. I just watched Canada win gold in women's soccer in a shootout, and I had no action on it, but it pumped me up. And I've always been a big Christine Sinclair fan. Nice to see them win gold. Also, Jose is good to go. He manned up. I was very curious. I think it was the last 24 hours has been a coming of age for Jose. He's ready to rock, and he promises me that he will be taking his selections very seriously because he did make a spectacular call on the Astros coming out sleepy in the Minnesota Twins, but that was not his action that he gave out in the Say Hey play of the day. So while we can't congratulate him for that spectacular call in the drunken stupor that he was in, his play lost. His Say Hey play of the day lost. And if he wants to shave that mustache, he's got to be in the black. I went 3-1 yesterday. Stopped the bleeding. Hit Royals first 5 at plus 145. Ended up 3-1 plus 2.40 units. And the mistake I made on the Astros -2 was my only loss. And it was a terrible, terrible mistake. It was a ludicrously bad judgment. Error in judgment, and I deserve to not have a perfect day because of that foolish decision to take a favorite that big, thinking that the Twins were going to mail it in when it was the Astros that came out sleepy, like Jose had predicted. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm pumped up. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I like it. Sammy Culmer in the house says, morning, everyone. Just cashed Sweden, Canada, draw plus 210. And I believe you had the future on Canada. Didn't you hit that at plus 900? Raymond Reddington, my play today, Orioles first 5 plus a half -128. I've made 2 bets already today. And one of my rules, Sammy, and you don't have to stick with these things. You can keep, but I never turn a dog into a favorite. It's my rule in all sports betting. So I'm on the Orioles first 5 and Johnny Means, 4th start after the IL. His first 2 starts were weak. His 3rd start was very good. I hope he continues it against the Rays team that doesn't hit lefties well. But I took the plus 110 on the first 5. Rusty Kuntz, play of the day is Jays to score first at plus 110 for Rusty Kuntz. And last time we had correlating action, we cashed. I'm on the Jays first 5. Now, it was juicy and expensive. It's expensive. Minus 130. But I like your look, Turnsy. Nice to get a plus line there. Morgan Spooner in the house is fan duels. Player performance double. Lance Lynn, 6 Ks. White Sox money line, plus 128 for 3 units. 1 unit White Sox and Lynn, 7 Ks. Pitchers hit their K-prop in 7 straight versus Cubs. Lynn is at 8. Nice work. Okay, and a couple other things here. Shout out to Guillermo Zertucci. He gave us the #1 Bossy Soul in race 5 at Del Mar. That paid out $6.90. And shout out to Logan Collins, who had that big boy bet on the Marlins yesterday, -1.5, 3 runs in the 8th. I believe it was the 8th inning, and they cash and win 4-2. Huge play by Logan Collins. Keep an eye on what Logan Collins is up to. All right, love my Cubs, but take the money, gents. Good luck today. Hope to catch the live stream. Morgan Spooner, I hope you can come back and join us. There we go. Viper NB in the house. Max Swelly ready to go. And Sammy Culmer, catch that plus 900 ticket. Attaboy. Turnsy says, I have Jose is passed out in a ditch somewhere -300. Look, this was an important 24 hours for our man Jose. See, I toured as a comic for 17 years, and I hit the ball up pretty hard. So look, in fact, when I am a little hungover, it feels right to me. It feels right. I jump up, I feel good. Now, I was curious whether Jose would make the show. I heard that he was not on the 4 p.m. closing line show, and he was not on his show after that. So who knows what happened to Jose? It's going to be very interesting when Jose, star of the Say Hey play of the day, comes on and regales us with what happened to him yesterday. Puzzler says gold for Canada and Sinclair. They're a bit unfortunate, but it feels great. Yeah, it's exciting. Slats says, I told you yesterday, had Canada women to win on penalty kicks at plus 900. You did. I forgot about that, Slatsy. And so did Sammy Culmer. Okay, I thought Sammy Culmer's plus 900 was the future on them, but man, great job, you guys. Attaboy. Alex Johnson, yes. That was my fault. I should not have. in Jose's drunken stupor, he tried to get us off that look. Olu, what is happening, my man? Coco Bongo in the house. We got B-Ball, Jeff Shahadi, Mally Mal, Luke Murphy, David Summers, Ron Walsek, who we don't see enough of. Sons of Beaches play of the day. Oakland over 4.5 team total. OG Lowbagger, Ron Walsek, dipping his toe into the play of the day game. Ron Walsek, Sons of Beaches play of the day. Oakland over 4.5 team total. Those of you who don't know Ron Walsek, who are new with us, he's been a supporter of Peter and I since the very beginning, and he has been big in the Greyhound racing industry, and he was the first to find homes for the racing Greyhounds after they were done racing. So that was him. I believe he started that, and I don't mean to, but I believe he started in 1984, and that was Ron Walsek was the first to find homes for all of the Greyhounds that raced in Florida. He's a great man, and I love capping with him. Tyrone Coleman in the house. There's Guillermo Zutucci, says, trying to go back-to-back Del Mar Race 3, Cali Bay. Is it Cali Boy? Sorry, Cali Boy 3. Okay, Guillermo, it's Cali Bay. Is it Cali Bay? I thought it was Cali Boy, but Cali Bay 301 Guillermo Zertucci going back-to-back. He gave us a winner yesterday. It was a beautiful race. Beautiful, beautiful race. Von Polo in the house. Coco Pongo respects Drunken Stupor, as do I. There is Nuke Worker. Nice comeback yesterday. Thank you, guys. Thank you for believing in me. Look, the last 72 hours have been tough. There's no getting around it. But I slept last night, and I feel good. And although I didn't put a huge dent into my situation, I feel good. I feel hopeful. Leroy Flood in the house. Real Deal Prime, ready to get to work. Krishan, ready to go. We have a great group. I'm a little behind on the comments. Let me see if I can cash up here. Just to give you guys the love that you deserve for sticking with me through thick and thin. It means the world to me. It really does. Jimmy Gomez in the house. Another OG low bagger. Brandon says, shout out to my fellow Canadians. Canada gold. That was really exciting. That was really, really, really exciting. I fucking, we just love sports so much. I had no action on that game, but I love that. Birdie says, let's start drinking. Come on, Birdie. Don't push us. Don't push us because I'm close to the edge. There's Michael Ervalina. Said, Jimmy, we never found if you got in trouble with your girl for the day drinking. No, look, no one knew I was day drinking. No one knew. Took the kids to the playground. Look, I'm a pro. No one knew. She didn't watch the show. And my bottle, I remember I hid my bottle. So I didn't want to see her to see how much damage is being done to it. Okay, behind the curtain is where I hid it. Serious business, ready to go. Beautiful, beautiful. YouTube, everything. Ross Pitts, Deacon Mike taking the over 2.5 homers in the Cubs Sox game, wind blowing out at Wrigley. He's getting a plus line on that too, and that's the first game we're going to talk about. That pops up at 220. Razor Sharp picks. This can't wait to see more shots today. That doesn't need to be what the show's all about. Gambler's first glance locked and loaded for Razor Sharp picks. There's Earl Sports Bets, great friend of the show, been on the show many times. Platinum Paul, ready to rock. Alexander Sosa, ready to eat. All right. Nathaniel, Jared JB, Sean Thompson, Marlon Z in the house. Mr. Nimbus. We have Mr. Nimbus, a new capper here. Mr. Nimbus. Nuffleshawn says, when you hear Jimmy scared off 5.5 team total overs, there's a reason for that. Yeah, the Yankees did not get there yesterday, but they did catch the -1.5, but they didn't catch the first 5. A tricky spot. Yes. Turnsy says, one thing about Jose is he ain't like the rest of us. He can get hammered and show up for work the next day. I'm very, very impressed. Very, very, very impressed. Someone needs to tell Jose that you can't get drunk off of tools. Okay, come on. He was lit up. He was lit up. All right, it is time to get to work. Thank you guys all so much for joining us. Oh, Mr. Nimbus was used to be Mega Cash Money. Okay, Mr. Nimbus. Well, okay, we have OG Lowbagger rolling with us. Okay. Asian toddler, says Max Welly. Look, they're no joke. They're no joke. They're 3 years old, and look, I'll do whatever they say. I don't want any problems. They're 3-year-old twins, and and a sneaking suspicion that they will be capable of being professional athletes. They are. I didn't look like that at 3. Let me put that there. Okay, let's get to work right now. Razor Sharp Pick says, we put Jose on the milk carton last night during the horse show. I'm glad we were able to finally locate him. He was passed out in his bathroom with his ankle down around his pants. Yeah, that's truth. There's we'll find out his story. Yesterday for me, Tigers first 5 minus 115, easy casher. Royals first 5 plus 145. Not an easy casher, but a casher. Astros -2, minus 105. Got to take a long look in the mirror and stop being such an ass clown. That was a terrible, terrible bet. Why? I don't know why I was so. Why would I? I haven't done that all year. I haven't done that shit all year. Why was I so convinced? And then, stupid. Braves first 5 was a push. Braves full game was a cash. And it turns out that we can attack this Cardinals bullpen over and over and over again. All right. Here we go. We start at 2:20 p.m. Eastern, but I'm back, baby. God, it was a rough 48 hours. I needed a winning day yesterday, and I need another one today. So after all I came into this week up 18.64 units, thinking I was better than I am. This is where I am right now. 238 wins, 205 losses, 53.7%. When I came in on Thursday, I was hitting at 55.1%. Plus 7.60 units, ROI plus 1.72%. My ROI was over 4. Average line -1, 11. Real Deal Prime says lost due to Astros, not today. And North Ender says at least you recognize the foolish bets. Yes, it was. I don't know why. Okay, I don't want to keep hammering it, but I was pretty upset. Pretty upset with myself. Okay, we get to work right now. We start at 2:20 p.m. Eastern. Chicago White Sox 63-46, 25-26 on the road at Chicago Cubs 52-58, 31-21 at home. We're at Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois. 83 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 13 miles per hour out to left center. Now, Deacon says it's moved to 12 miles per hour out. Lance Lynn, the Bulldog, going up against Kyle Hendricks. First thing I thought of when I was studying this game was, look at the numbers against these two pitchers. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And then as soon as I had confirmed that I did not want the under, and we'll look at the market moves and everything, as soon as I kind of felt that way, Deacon messaged me and said he's on the over 2.5 home runs. Lance Lynn on the bump. The Bulldog, 10-3, 2.07 ERA, 1.05 whip, 108 2/3, 122 Ks, 33 walks, 10 home runs. In his last start, he went 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, no homers, 1 walk, 7 Ks, and a 6-4 win at home versus Cleveland. Going up against Kyle Hendricks, 13-4, 3.71 ERA, 1.27 whip, 128 2/3, 94 Ks, 26 walks, 22 home runs. In his last start, he went 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, no homers, 1 walk, 3 Ks, in a 6-3 win at the Nationals. There's Mr. Gokster in the house. Viper says the total's gone over in 5 of Chicago Cubs' last 6 games when playing the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox last 30 days versus righties, 234, 756 OPS. The Cubs versus righties, 243, 706 OPS. White Sox bullpen has been quite good. Just a 1.06 whip in the last 30 days. But some long balls have hurt them, 4.09 ERA, and have only successfully converted 5 of 10 save opportunities. Cubs bullpen 5.38 ERA, 1.46 whip. And interestingly enough, they've converted all 6 of their save opportunities. So the back end is looking strong right now for the Cubs. White Sox. All right. So let's start with the market and see what we are dealing with. And then we'll go to baseball data, and then we'll see where the cash lies. So here we go. We have Lynn opening up at minus 145. There's been an 18-cent move towards the Chicago White Sox. This total opened up at 9 and minus 106. And some books have this juice to the over, but the leading indicator books have a juice to the under. There's been a 7-cent move towards the under 9. A 7-cent move on the under 9. Let's go over to baseball data. Check that out right now. Here we go. Against Lance Lynn, these Cubbies are hitting 326 with a 936 OPS. Interesting. Hayward, 7 for 19 with 2 doubles. Chirinos, 3 for 11 with a triple and a homer. Ian Happ, 2 for 7 with a homer. I don't know if I really trust those numbers, to be honest with you. I certainly don't fear Hayward at all when he gets in the box. Kyle Hendricks, 301 average, but 751 OPS against them. So they're 25 for 83, but only 5 of those 25 hits are for extra bases. WVU, West Virginia, Catbird in the house. It has been too long. Thank you for joining us. Luke Murphy, Cubs Sox no run first inning, and Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day is in St. Louis. St. Louis. And Mal saying that Hap's been hitting the best of them. Billy Friedrich says, don't trust the White Sox. They're not scoring runs. And the Gooch play of the day is in with Detroit money line. Okay, so let's get all this in. So let me get the spreadsheet play of the day copied and pasted in front of that Cardinals game. Thank you for sharing your hard work with us. Always sharing your hard work with us. It means a ton. That's the Royals Cardinals. So I'm going to copy and paste that right there. And then we have Corey Simmons, focus on your bets. Gooch play of the day. Detroit money line. In the Tigers spot. Tigers, Indians, Matt Manning, Cal Quantrill. That's a real interesting look, Corey. Thank you for sharing that with us. Okay. Morgan says Cubs team is in the same Cubs team. Every hitting season, long numbers, garbage without Javi, Rizzo, KB, Marisnik. Yeah, I hear that, but these are the numbers against with the players in the lineup. They are hitting over 300 with an over 900 OPS. You know, honestly, I'm uncomfortable with this spot. Michael Liverlina says Lynn can shut down that little lineup from the Cubs, and Sox can't hit now. First 5 under. That's interesting. My initial feeling was, I guess I didn't look very closely at the baseball data. I mean, I just saw the numbers, the average, and the OPS, and thought to stay off of it. Sabino and Guano in the house. Deacon Mike says Cubs team sucks now. Will be the Pirates for the next 3 years. Morgan Smith says they don't have any protection. They will pitch too much different. There's a lot of truth to that. There's a lot of truth. And Focus on Your Bet says Mets minus 1.5 is my biggest bet today. Thank you for sharing that, Corey. I'm going to pop that into the Mets game. I initially thought that things didn't correlate in this game. That was my thought. But where's the Mets spot? Sorry. Here we go. That's just game 2. Mets Philly. That'll be the next game we talk about. But now I'm starting to think with the market. You know what? Okay, let's go. Let's see where the cash lies. Maybe if the cash can help us here in this Cubs spot. Let's see how many tickets we have in. Where are you? Okay, 2:20 p.m. Eastern. We have 4,779 tickets in. 79% of the tickets, 73% of the cash on the White Sox. Then we have 46% of the tickets on the over and 76% of the cash on the over. Mr. Nimbus says best 3 franchise players gone. Mr. Gokster says Lynn money in these day games. I forgot about that angle, Mr. Gokster. Thank you for bringing that up. That was something that the Bulldog was always good with. Let's just pull up his splits right now. Billy Friedrich saying the White Sox are averaging 4 runs scored per game since the break. Viper says pass too much on the over. There's Lee Shipley. Thank you for joining us, Lee. No problem. I now am with Viper. Clearly, there's sharp bets on the over, and I was very close to moving on the first 5 under, but the wind doesn't correlate. Like, not everything is ticked. I don't know if I feel comfortable putting my cash here. And there it is, Mr. Gokster. Great stuff. So now with Lance Lynn, his numbers are a little worse on the road than they are at home. So on the road, 2.63 ERA, opponents hitting 231 compared to 1.77, opponents hitting 183 off him at home. But it's the day numbers. Look at him, 4-1 with a 1.54 ERA in the daytime. That's a great stat, great look. Mr. Nimbus says wind out in Wrigley is scary. It is. TJ says, is it sharp? Blind bets on the over with the wind. You know, you bring up a good point, TJ. Is it sharp? I mean, I don't know. I can't answer that. But what I do know is that the bets are bigger on the over. And generally speaking, the cappers who are making the bigger bets are the pros. Matty Ice says, sorry, guys, on the road. We love you, Matty Ice. No problem. Yes, T-Nice, it is still a road game because you're in the opposing stadium. That's it, simple there. Rodney Barton says, wind is blowing out like a hurricane in Wrigley. This is the Crosstown Classic game. I see runs. Over is 5-1 in the last 6 innings. Joshua Wilcox says, I tailed Drunk Jose's Twins pick first 5 in full game. What a thing of beauty, Joshua. Lee Shipley says, Cubs are worth a look, but I'll stay away. I want afternoon action today. Sean Thompson says, I want no part of this game, and I'm going to tend to agree. Oh, beautiful, Matty Ice. Biggest bet of the year for me. I love it, Matty Ice. Okay, we're all ears. Take your time. Focus on the road. We love you. All right, we are going to move on. I'm not going to make a bet here, and I don't think, unless I'm close to making a bet on something, I don't think it's prudent to give you a lean on a game. I don't think that's helpful for you guys. Now, when I'm really close to making a bet, like there were some spots yesterday that I was really close to that I didn't pull the trigger on, I think that can be helpful. But just to give out a side or a total because I like it a little bit more than I don't like it, I don't think that's going to be helpful, and I'm not going to do that. All right, Sabino says, I'm from Milwaukee. We're expecting thunder today, only 1 hour away from Wrigley, so beware. Mr. Nimbus looking at the Hendricks over strikeout prop. Okay, I am going to move on from this game, which I would love to have action on. Max Swelly says Kendrick always plays well at home. Facts. We can just, before we move on, we can just take a look at the Hendricks splits as well. Would be interesting because I'm sure he's got a ton of daytime action too, being a Wrigley guy or being a Chicago Cub guy. So let's check this out right now, and then we'll move on past this very interesting game at 2:20 this afternoon. Here we go. Splits on Kyle Hendricks. Hendricks has been in some pretty nice situations where the wind's been blowing in against him. But here we go. At home this year, 4.37 ERA, 1.2 runs worse than his away record. Opponents are hitting 278 against him, and he's allowed 14 home runs and 59 2/3 at home. But in the day, he's also better in the day. 2.97 ERA, 6-2. 6-2. All right. I love you, Marlon Z, my man. I love having you in the chat. Steve Smith says, I'm already drinking on my first break at work listening to Jimmy. Steve Smith, what are you trying to make my mouth water, Steve? Is that what you're trying to do? I love it. Okay, we move on. 7 p.m. Eastern is the next game on the docket for us. New York Mets, 56-52, 23-32 on the road at the Philadelphia Phillies, 56-53, 31-21 at home. And this is where Corey Simmons, our guy, focus on your bets. Biggest bet today, Mets minus 1.5 at plus 140. Trusting Stroman and fading Gibson. Very interesting. 85 Fahrenheit, cloudy, partly cloudy, 9 miles per hour out to straightaway center. We're at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Marcus Stroman, 7-10, 2.80 ERA, 1.13 whip, 122 innings, 101 Ks, 28 walks, and 11 home runs. He did not look good in his last start at home versus the Reds. 5 2/3, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 homer, 1 walk, 4 Ks, and a 7-1 loss. Kyle Gibson, 7-3, 2.86 ERA, 1.17 whip, 119 2/3, 99 Ks, 43 walks, 9 home runs. His last start, first start in a Philadelphia uniform, was good. It was quality. 6 2/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, no homers, 2 walks, 5 Ks, and a 15-4 win. The Mets over the last 30 days are hitting righties hard, 245, 757 OPS. Phillies even hitting them harder, 259 average, 774 OPS. Here's something that we should keep our eye on moving forward for the rest of the season. The Phillies bullpen has been something we've tried to attack, and over the last 30 days, they're getting right. 3.87 ERA, but they still have a 1.47 whip. So obviously some BABIP luck, and they've gone 6 for 9 converting saves. Mets bullpen 4.35 ERA, 1.45 whip, have converted 8 of 14. Benjamin Martin says Stroman is a bump. Mally Mal says why he likes the Mets, they're about to lose. All right. Kevin Riley in the house, thank you for joining us. Ross Pitt says Philly will get up for Gibson. Mr. Nimbus says Stroman is terribly overrated. He's had a good season. He's had a good season. A 2.80 ERA, 1.13 whip. I know that the win-loss numbers don't show that, but he's been good. And I'm a fan of the Stro Show. He played for Toronto. He was a character guy. He wore his heart on his sleeve. And also those small pitchers. Nobody wants this. No scout wants to bring a 5'9" pitcher to their brass and say, this guy is the truth. All right. Lee Shipley says, man, this is like a playoff game here for the Phillies. And Gambler's First Glance is in. Look at that. Gambler's First Glance is in. Oh, and the taint is in. Okay, sorry. I got a little behind setting this up. So let's just Gambler's First Glance. Mets money line at plus 100 is in. So I'm going to pop that here. Wow. Gambler's first bet, or Gambler's first glance is in. Copy and paste that. And Taint is in. How did I miss it? Taint is a parlay. Oakland, Atlanta, money line at plus 108. Taint is in. I repeat, Taint is in. Taint. A parlay today for Sweet Taint. Oakland, Atlanta, money line at plus 108. Taint is in. Oakland, Atlanta, money line at plus 108. The Warriors says big balls from Taint today. And Matty I says, biggest bet of the year for me. Razor Sharp Pick says, I'm on the Mets tonight, and I have Phillies to win the division. I just like the Mets in this spot. TJ says, Gibson has been waiting a long time to play in a game this important. Very good points coming from the chat. Okay, so we've set this up. We've talked about the situation. We've talked about the righties, against righties, the bullpen. Let's move over to baseball data here and see what we are dealing with. Against Stroman, the Phillies are hitting 237 with a 611 OPS with a huge sample size. 36 for 152. Only 2 home runs against them in 152 at-bats. Against Gibson, these Mets are hitting 354 with a 1.002 OPS. They're smashing them. Conforto, 4 for 5 with a double and a homer. Nemo, 2 for 3 with a double and a homer. Pilar, 4 for 11 with 2 doubles and a homer. Now, if you are looking at this team, you want to see Pete Alonso with numbers against him. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. You want to see the big bats being able to get to him, and that's not happening here. Sean Thompson says Philly has this game marked, guys. Razor Sharp Pick says Phillies win 5 in a row, have a chance to take division lead at home, and line is only minus 108. Well, let's take a look at where the cash lies and where the market has gone in this spot here. So, wow. Total opens up at 8.5. It goes up a full run. Now, it might be wind related, but it goes up a full run to 9.5. And not only that, but it's juiced to the over at Pinnacle. Then we have the Phillies open up minus 108 and are still sitting at minus 108. No movement there. So let's move over to where the cash is. We have 3,997 tickets in. 61% of the tickets on the Phillies, 61% of the cash on the Phillies. And no movement. Then we have 63% of the tickets on the under and 94% of cash on the under, but it's moved up a full run. So that's a confusing number. And I don't like talking about it because they don't show me when the bets were in, 8.5, 9, or 9.5. Mr. Nimbus says it streaks. Mets can't hit now. Well, look, seeing Corey Simmons and Razor Sharp Picks so big on the Mets is eye-opening. There's my guy Juan Ruiz in the house. Got to hang out with Juan Ruiz in Miami. I love the man. Mets, big plays for Corey Simmons and Razor Sharp Picks. When you hear something like that, should it be a blind follow? I'm concerned with Kyle Gibson. I don't like Marcus Stroman's last start, but I expect Stroman to step up in a big game. As I said, he's a character guy. He wears his heart on his sleeve. I am not moving on this game at this point. Mr. Nimbus says, I'm biased. I really don't believe in Stroman. Look, I don't know if I want to back him here either. Because, look, when you see Corey and Razor on the same bet, you think, it's my guy Schnitzle in the house. Frankie Cheeks likes that, ladies. Okay, Sebastian Ace is also on the Mets, too. Phillies makes no sense. First game back from a long road trip. Lee Shipley says, can't trust the Phillies here. It's a big game. They traditionally fold, so expect that. Razor Sharp Pick says, I cashed my top play yesterday against the Mets, and now we back them. Puzzler says, Harper and Hoskins 1 for 19 versus Stroman. That's a huge point. That is a enormously important point. We talk about who do you want to see as the big bats that get to him. Hoskins 1 for 11. Harper 0 for 8. Now, the Mets bullpen has not been that strong. Oh, Schnizzle. Respect, man. Ohio's finest. As soon as this clears, I know we've been saying it for a year and a half. You know I'll be down in Cleveland. You know it. I promise. I guarantee you I will be down, drink in hand, watching the ball game with you. And I want to see the Cavs play. All right, Nutflush says, okay, Jimmy, enough work done on this play, but starting today, I have an auto bet on Texas team total unders for the rest of the season. They're going to be spots where teams needing wins will smash. Interesting. And Mr. Nimbus' problem is bullpen for the Phillies and Mets. But remember, the Phillies bullpen has been a little better, but still 1.47 whip. Okay, I can't make a move here. Dadfan says, such a great price for the team that's playing like a team. Phillies all the way. Sean Thompson says Phillies score at least 4 runs. Okay, I'm going to need more time on this, and I don't want to sit in the hall. We have a huge card to attack, and I have to do nothing at this point. But I think the market is telling us that the Mets are the right side. 62% of the tickets, 61% of the cash on the Phillies. Now 4,072 tickets counted. All right. We move on. 7:05 p.m. Eastern is next up. New York Yankees. God, I love talking about this Yankee squad right now. Let's break it down. Seattle Mariners, 58-52, 25-29 on the road at New York Yankees, 59-49, 30-24 home at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, baby. 82 Fahrenheit clear, 10 miles per hour sideways out to the left field pole. Michael Irvelina says, Jimmy, I love the Braves to win the division at plus 225 right now. Phillies don't have a pen. Mets are starting pitching is falling apart and bats are dead. Braves made moves to help with the Acuna injury. Very, very interesting, Michael Irvelina. I will copy and paste that so that we can talk about that before the Braves game. I almost moved on the total there, but I stopped and said, talk it out. Let's talk it out. Let's talk it out. I love it, Michael Irvelina. Thank you for sharing your hard work with us. Okay. So 82 Fahrenheit clear, 10 miles per hour sideways out to the left field pole. Marco Gonzalez, 3-5, 5.15 ERA, 1.42 whip, 60 Ks, 26 walks, 17 home runs. His last start was good. It was quite good, but it was against the Rangers. Rangers aren't hitting. So 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks. This lineup is going to be much, much more difficult. Going up against Wandy Peralta. So it's a bullpen day for the Yankees. And the Yankees bullpen is actually starting to pitch a little better now, just over the last little bit. But over the last 30 days, still 4.36 ERA, 1.24 whip, converted 8 of 13. Wandy Peralta, he's not really – I'm surprised he's opening, to be honest with you. 5.19 ERA. He's got 10 Ks, 7 walks. I mean, he could get hit immediately. He can get hit immediately. I love it, Ixnizzle. I love it. I absolutely love it, man. I'm with you completely. Razor Sharp Pick says, and Mr. Nimbus says, Peralta is a horrible opener. Razor Sharp Pick says, money's rolling in on the Phillies, and Vegas doesn't move the line. Look at the Yankees game. Everyone hammering them and moving line up. Why wouldn't they do the same for the Phillies game? Well put. Absolutely well put. And Slats45 says, Rough Riders -7, first game back in sold-out Mosaic Stadium will be rocking. Riders 6-0 against spread versus BC, last 6 from Slatsy. And I will be capping CFL moving forward. I just want – and maybe we should just be hammering unders nonstop. That's what Mike Richards is doing. But I just need more time to hammer this. Okay, Uncle Oliver, our man Lucky Lefty, says, I like the over, Jimmy. Okay, so let's move towards that. But the key stat here is the Mariners last 30 days versus lefties, 223 with a 698 OPS. The Yankees the last 30 days versus lefties, 313 with a 934 OPS. Mr. Nimbus says Peralta traded to get lefties out, but he can't get lefties or righties coming off the IL and minor stint. First inning score, says Mr. Nimbus. What is the juice on that, Mr. Nimbus? That might be a great, great spot. And the Gooch play of the day, thank you for sharing that. Focus on your bets, our guy Corey Simmons. We'll get into that. So let's move over to the baseball data. It's not going to help us with Peralta, but Marco Gonzalez are hitting 317 with a 908 OPS. Gallo 6 for 18 with 2 homers and a double. He hit a homer last night. You can expect that he's going to get hot. He's a streaky hitter, and I would expect him to get hot here. Let's take a look at this market move for this spot. We have the Yankees opening up at -171. They're now at -170. So a 1 cent move towards the Mariners. This total opened up at 10, and it's now at 10.5. A 1 cent move towards the Mariners. Let's take a look at where the cash lies with the Yankees here. 2,067 tickets in. It was a late bloomer, right? We didn't know who was going to be pitching for the Yankees. 71% of the tickets on the Yankees, 95% of the cash on the Yankees, and a 1 cent move towards the Mariners. Well, that makes no sense whatsoever. 50% of the tickets on the under and 97% of the cash on the under. Now, I know we're talking about a smaller sample size, but this doesn't make any sense. Puzzler says run in the first inning at minus 160. That's expensive. Eric Jones in the house. Oh, and 2 scores first inning, says Mr. Nimbus. I find this extremely strange. Why there would be so much cash on the under. Why the market isn't moving towards the Yankees. Are people uncomfortable with the bullpen day when the bullpen's been pitching fine? I mean, they had a really bad run, 23 weeks ago. Mr. Nimbus says Peralta's so bad. I mean, he's only going to be in there for an inning. His last appearance was at Seattle, so he just faced them. And in that 1 inning, he was hit for a homer. And we got a parlay from Corey Simmons. Yeah, says Peralta's a punt. So maybe it's time. Maybe this is a live bet on the Yankees. Maybe this is a live bet on the Yankees. Wait for Peralta to get touched. There's Dennis Trusty in the house. Great to see you, Trusty. Okay, so I don't know really. The market is throwing me for a huge loop here. And the market threw us for a loop yesterday. We let them throw us for a loop. We stayed off of it, and it probably saved us money. I say probably because they still cashed the -1 or -1.5. But they didn't get the team total over, and they didn't hit the first 5. Mr. Nimbus says, yeah, but you can live play the Yankees down. Okay, so look, I'm going to let the market dictate a lot of what I'm doing because baseball is tricky and tough. And by our focus on the market, I'm still up on the year, and that's the only thing that's important. That's the only thing that's important. That's the only thing that matters is making money. Okay, so we move on. We move on to my first bet of the day. I'm on the Baltimore Orioles first 5 at +110. I like this spot for John Means. And the Rays against lefties last 30 days are hitting .212 with a .645 OPS. It means 4 starts since the IL. His first 2 starts were bad. We stayed off of him. We were just watching. The third start was very good. I was still just watching. Now I believe it. Soupy Panty says Yankees over 5.5 seems like a decent value play. Yeah, I agree. But 5.5 scared the shit out of me. They always have, and they always will. We're in Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland, Charm City. Let's go. Home of our guy, Von Polo. Ryan Yarbrough versus John Means. 85 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 10 miles per hour out to left center. Yarbrough 6-4 with a 4.58 ERA, 1.18 whip, 114 innings, 94 Ks, 21 walks, 18 homers. Dad Fenn says, yes, Jimmy, Means and the O's first 5 and full game. Mr. Gozer says, Baltimore to score first +160. Book it. Ski Prophet says, I'm with you, Jimmy. Orioles first 5. Mr. Nimbus says, Yarbrough can get touched. Means is mean. Piker says, yeah, baby, I fully endorse. Means has been solid. Yarbrough got absolutely rocked last time out. Not as good on the road. Lock that in. Nice value. And here we go. Gas Station Sushi's top picks. Giants money line. Rockies -1.5. Padres -1.5. And Tigers money line. Copy and paste that. Thank you for sharing that with us, Gas Station Sushi. And we are all going to be back in business for a big horse racing show in 15 days, Saturday the 21st, and it's headlined by the Pacific Classic at Del Mar, $1 million race there. Okay, back to this spot. Yarbrough's last start. Red Sox got to him. It was at home. Red Sox got him for 5 earned runs, 2 homers in 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, 4 Ks. John Means' last start was nice. It was at the Tigers. Don't forget, the Tigers are raking lefties right now. They're smashing lefties. Means goes 6 innings, odds 4 hits, 1 solo shot, 1 run, 1 walk, 6 Ks, and a 5-2 win. Orioles versus lefties last 30 days, 254 with a 777 OPS. Now we stay away from the bullpens. Look, Orioles bullpen last 30 days, 5.96 ERA, 1.48 whip. We don't need to trust them. Rays bullpen, 1.49 ERA, 0.89 whip. They're in complete playoff mode. And Jared JB says, boo, Jimmy Boo, I'll be in Tampa watching my White Sox that day. Damn, Jared JB. But I can tell you this. But you'll be in Tampa. Well, we'll be on for hours and hours and hours. So it'll be like an easy 10-hour day for sure. Lee Shipley says, bro, Rays are ready to explode. I'm really worried they let it out here. I'm comfortable with the Orioles first five for a little wager. Michael Irvin says the first five under. Both pitchers can shut down these offenses, and if one team hits a 2-run bomb, the under is still safe. Trusty, no problem to ask about the Whitney. You know I've got a problem with the Whitney because my favorite horse right now, or at least it's my favorite horse right now, is running in it as a long shot. So it's a spectacular race. I know it's just a 5-horse field, but these are some of the best horses in the world. So I need to study it more. But I will be with you guys. I'll tweet it out. And I'm also going to be in Niagara Falls this weekend. So I'm going to be drinking and betting. I promise you that. Okay, so TJ says Yarbrough's a bum as a starter versus coming off the bench. Who knows why? But stats are stats. O's first five is on the card. Okay, so let's take a look at the baseball data here. Yarbrough, against Yarbrough, 204, 596 OPS. And this was tricky for me because I had to put a line through that number. The only guy who gets to him is Mancini, who's 8 for 22 with 2 doubles and 3 homers. Mountcastle seen him for 12 at-bats. He's 3 for 12 with 1 double. Cedric Mullins is so, 0 for 7, but he's got to be able to turn on this guy. So that made me a little uncomfortable. But he's not coming off of a good start. Maybe he's got a case of the yips as a starter. John Means against 229, 714 OPS. The problem is they seem to barrel up when they do get to Means. So they're only 16 for 70, but 8 of those 16 hits are for extra bases. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gokster. I will. Sean Todd says Orioles are popping the bats, and at plus 130, I'll take a stab. Okay, so let's move over to the odds and the cash here in this Orioles-Rays spot. This total was 9.5. It's now 10. Yarbrough and the Rays open up at minus 142. They're now minus 151. A 9-cent move towards the Tampa Bay Rays. Let's see if that follows here. Baltimore, Tampa. We have 3,341 tickets in. 60% of the tickets, 78% of the cash on the Rays. 79% of the tickets, 97% of the cash on the over, and yet it's gone from 9.5 to 10. B-Ball says, I'm going to be at Del Mar August 21st, baby. Oh, I love it, B-Ball. I love it, man. So we'd love to get some views from the track. So stay in touch with me, my guy. Robert Allen is on White Sox first 5 minus a half. Mets, Phillies under 5, first 5. Blue Jays first 5. Reds minus a half, first 5. Oakland minus 1.5 is what he's looking at right now. I'm going to copy and paste that. Okay, so this is one of the spots where not everything correlates just because Yarbrough has good numbers against these Orioles. So not every single thing correlates. But other than that, I think I'm getting an advantage. I think I have the better pitcher on the mound. I'm cutting the bet down to 5 innings. I have a team that's smashing lefties against a team that isn't, that's not hitting lefties at all. So why wouldn't I do this? And I did do this. I got plus 110. Let's see what's going on with the first 5 money line right now. And the total. Here we go. For the first 5, let's see what kind of movement we've had in this spot. Where is it? There we go. Okay, so initially it was juiced to the under 5 at minus 110. Now it's juiced to the over 5 at minus 116. That's interesting. Let's see what BetOnline has done with this. Baltimore at BetOnline opened up at plus 120, went down to plus 115, 113, and they're back at plus 115. So BetOnline giving us that information. Not a lot of sites. Our first 5s are up right now with the market moves. Same with Heritage. Open up at plus 115, go down to plus 110, now plus 115. I got plus 110 on it. Let's see what I would get right now. Plus 115. God, that sucks. Okay. Is what it is. Michael Irvin says, both these pitchers have potential pitching lights out. Why isn't under 10 the play? If the weather's blowing out that much, I don't get why everyone's on the over. But I also haven't looked at the weather. Yeah, the weather's blowing out. 10 miles per hour out to left center. And the bullpen for the Orioles is weak. Luke Murray says, I think both teams can hit the pitchers. All right. Luke Murray said, I still can't trust me until he shows me something since his return. I thought he did that, Luke. I thought that was a great start at Detroit against a team that's smashing lefties. Great start. 6 innings, 4 hits, allowed 1 solo shot, 1 run, 1 walk, 6 Ks. I thought he was completely in control. All right, so there you have it. I was wondering what was going to happen with this market move, and honestly, just a 5-cent move, at least a 5-cent move. I'm not overly confident in this spot. We move on to 7:07 p.m. Eastern. The Boston Red Sox, 64-46, 31-24 on the road at the Toronto Blue Jays, 57-49, 28-23 at home, Rogers Centre in Toronto, Ontario. And we have come to Jose's Say Hey play of the day. Right there. Jose, Say Hey play of the day. And the question is he going to take this shit seriously? I believe he is. I believe in the last 24 hours, this man has grown up. I believe we're going to see somebody on the screen in seconds who's going to take this shit seriously. Please welcome to the show, my producer, Jose.
Hello, gentlemen. How are we doing today?
We are doing good, Jose. You look fantastic. You look dressed for success.
Thank you. I'm only here for success.
I believe that, Jose. I know that you probably have some stories about yesterday, but I want you to continue this focused look that you have in your face. I expect winners when you're dressed for success like this. Look at how serious this man is. No mustache cam. We don't care. We want winners, Jose.
Very much. I have the bow tie to prove it.
Now, I know you do want to let us know a little bit about what happened yesterday.
A lot of it.
Do you want to start with that, or should we start with the MLB breakdown? Because I think it's paramount that you stay locked in and focused.
I'll start with the game then. We'll start with the game. We'll get that out of the way. Shout out to all the people who listened to me in my drunken stupor about the Minnesota Twins. But unfortunately, apparently the Phillies did not come through for us last night. I did not watch a second of baseball last night. I had other things that I was unfortunately preoccupied with doing. We will talk about that here in a second. I don't know how they did. I just saw Aaron Nola sucked, so that was not ideal. But shout out to the Twins. Today I'm on the Red Sox, shockingly enough, by the way. Go ahead.
The Boston Red Sox, and yes, the road woes from Nola reared its ugly head in the 4th inning. They were up 3-0 into the 4th. Boston Red Sox, Toronto Blue Jays, Nathan Eovaldi, Alek Manoah. We expect the roof to be open. 78 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 10 miles per hour, out to right field. Eovaldi, 9-6, 3.71 ERA, 1.19 whip, 121 in the third, 120 Ks, 22 walks, 7 home runs. His last start was ugly. It was at Tampa, 5 in the third, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 homers, 1 walk, 6 Ks. Alek Manoah, 3 of his last 4 starts, hasn't allowed a run. 7 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks, and the 4-0 win at home versus the Royals. He shows a lot of emotion on the mound. This is a playoff game. It's the biggest game we've had in our country in what? Baseball, I should say, because we did have some big hockey games in a long time. They're going to be locked and loaded. The fans are going to be going nuts. And I am on the Toronto Blue Jays first 5, but it scares me to hear that you are on the Red Sox. Take it away.
Does it scare you?
It does.
Okay, well, fair enough. Red Sox are in their worst stretch of this whole season. I think they've lost, now let's count it, 4, 5, 6 of 7 with a win last night. No, 2 nights ago. I don't know what they did last night because, again, very drunk. But I think the Red Sox turn it around. I really do. This is a team, people keep telling me they're performing better than their parts. That's a part of Alex Cora, a part of a great offense. But I'm all in on the Red Sox today. I think Nate Eovaldi has a good start, had a bad one, like you said, in a really, really big game against the Rays. They want to come back and bounce back. Alek Manoah has seen these guys before, did well, so I kind of like the under here too. But it screwed me last night taking the Phillies first 5. The only thing I did see was the Phillies coming back after heaving many times. But I trust the Red Sox today. I think they get it done. A plus 130. I just think it's a good enough price for me to take the dog here and run.
I see you locked in and serious right now, Jose, and I like it. I fucking like it. All right, let's break this. See, look, Real Deal Prime says he doesn't look hungover to me because he's focused, because he's locked in, because he's a man. He'll tell us what happened in the last 24 hours, but I know it was a coming-of-age time for him. Red Sox first righties last 30 days, 246, 773 OPS. They hit them hard. Not as hard as the Jays. 269, 819 OPS. Problem is the Jays bullpen. 4.84 ERA, 1.33 whip over the last 30 days. Red Sox bullpen, 4.01 ERA, 1.21 whip over the last 30 days. Let's go over to baseball data here and see what we are dealing with. Against the Eovaldi, Jays just 195 with a 578 OPS. Not good. Not good. Bichette gets to him 3 for 9 with a homer. Lourdes Gurriel 3 for 7. But Vladdy 2 for 9 with 2 singles. Against Manoah, the Red Sox are hitting 211 with a 513 OPS. Now, very small sample size, but 4 for 19. Okay. So, and Ron Crawford, spreadsheet dog play, Red Sox, Mets, Diamondbacks. Interesting. So let's move over to the market here. Right now, first 5 was juiced to the under 5, and now it's moved to 4.5 at the indicator books. So expecting a pitching playoff type atmosphere. And then we go to the full game money lines and totals. Jose, here we go. Full game money lines and totals. The total at 9, over was juiced to minus 112. It's now juiced to minus 116. So an expectation, obviously, that the bullpens will get touched up and the starting pitching will be strong. The Jays go from minus 139 to minus 141, a 2-cent move towards the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's see what the cash is. 3,530 tickets in, 51% of the tickets on the Jays, 72% of cash on the Jays, and yet it only moves 2 cents. That's scary. 61% of the tickets on the Red Sox, 67% of the cash on the Red Sox. How do those numbers affect your plan here?
It does make me reconsider the under look, but I honestly, like I said, I really do think the Red Sox win today. I mean, Alex Cora, I talk about him often. He's the best manager in baseball. He's going to win AL Manager of the Year. He knows when to get the boys going. And last series against Detroit was really brutal. They needed to win all 3. I think they win only 1 of the 3. And it's just a really embarrassing series. And plus, you've got the Yankees getting all this hype. The Blue Jays are coming. I just think this is a must perform day for the Red Sox. If they've got to come out at least clicking offensively. I mean, Nate Eovaldi can give up, let's say 3-4 runs and have an okay start, but the offense really has to get there. That's the thing that's been concerning me, honestly, the most. Starting pitching has never been this team's real success point. I've never hung my hat on it, even though it's had a nice couple of weeks. But the offense really needs to get going. There's some players on the Red Sox that are hurt, but I think that they can pull it together, and they pull some runs against Manoah. Seen him before. I think maybe even Manoah gets a little bit too overhyped. You mentioned he's a very emotional pitcher. I don't know if this is his first start in Toronto, because I saw him, walking around, enjoying the sights and sounds of Toronto and the field when they first got there. But I think the energy might be a little bit too much for the rookie. Give me Nate Eovaldi and just a better team.
Well, I like that you are attacking the bullpen very much. I have different numbers, by the way, Ski. I don't have a 2.30 ERA. I have a 3.62 ERA over the last 10 days, according to Fangraphs, for the Jays. And for the Red Sox, I have – here we go. Sorry, let me get this up here. Sorry, move it. ERA. For the Red Sox, I have them at a 4.21 ERA over the last 10 days. That's according to Fangraphs. And so if you're looking at MLB.com, they don't switch it over to bullpen if you go to split up the days. But I don't even think they have last 10 days, so you must be looking somewhere else. There's been issues with the statistics for some of these splits. And that's why I'm solely going to that's 10 days. You're right, Ski. That's 10 days, not 10 games. That's the last 10 days. Okay, so Jose, moving on to Red Sox full game, what is the number that you are receiving?
Pinnacle right now, I've got a plus 130, so easy to remember.
There we go. Plus 130 for the Boston Red Sox. Plus 130 for Jose. Jose, I love that you're serious right now. You're locked in and you're serious. And that's what matters to me, is that when we're talking your action, you're taking it fucking serious. So now that we've moved past the game, you can let go a little bit. Tell us about what happened to you yesterday. You are muted right now. You're muted.
Well, first, let's hold on. Let's take off the bow tie. It was a
Sure.
clip-on, unfortunately, everyone.
Okay.
I hate to break it to you guys.
Okay.
So, Jimmy, let's start off with right after the show. For 30 minutes, we were feeling fantastic. Had the giggles, loving life.
Sure.
Then we hit around like 3 or 4 whenever Ian Cameron and Connor Mack's show is supposed to go on. 0% chance I was making that show. 0% chance. I was head down in my toilet from, let's say, 4 o'clock to at least 2 in the morning. At the very least 2 in the morning.
10 hours straight?
I was sitting there in front of my toilet, just like throwing up in a loop. It was like throw up, drink some more water, throw up the water I just drank, and just keep looping back and forth. And I know this is some very detailed advice too, Jimmy. I think the worst part about it was that, around 5, I started feeling like, oh, okay, maybe I can make the second show. Fall asleep. 5:30 comes around. I'm already 30 minutes late. I'm freaking out. I get into my rental car. I start driving. Immediately throw up all over the rental car. Immediately. I could not last 5 minutes. 5 minutes in that car. So I have throw up all over the rental car that I am turning in today.
Okay.
So that'll be fun. I'm doing that after the show. I am also have to clean the bathroom, which is also covered in throw up. And I had to clean my sheets this morning at around, let's say, 4:30, 4 in the morning, because I threw up all over myself in bed. So what I'm saying is it was a fun night. I could really, drinking is awesome. I understand why everyone does it.
Well, I don't know what to say, dude.
And by the way, Jimmy, I have a theory. I don't eat in the mornings. As they say, hungry dogs run faster. So I have now not eaten in about 2 days. So I did not eat yesterday prior to drinking, and I still have not eaten.
Oh, God.
I absolutely cannot eat right now. I've had a banana right here that I've been trying to eat. Just no. Yes, and it literally was like 5 or 6 shots. This is why I don't like drinking, if anyone can tell.
Oh, well, that calls for a toast.
I will not be toasting with you.
Jose,
you can enjoy this.
You've come a long way in the last 24 hours, and judging by how serious you took your baseball breakdown, this is to you. We love you. I'm sorry that you had a tough night, but you're going to get through it. Things are going to get better, and it's going to start with a win today.
I appreciate it. Now, if you'll excuse me, Jimmy, I have to go throw up currently. So that tie or whatever we're calling it really held all the throw up right here. So now it's about to come all the way up, and I don't want everyone to see that. And also, by the way, shout out to the people who DM'd me asking if I was okay. At the moment you DM'd me, Turnsy and Trusty, I for sure was not okay. Absolutely not okay. I was in the middle of death. My mom was very disappointed in me. Extremely. She looked at me and just shook her head and was like, "You fucking idiot. You're 24 years old and you're doing this shit." So.
Oh, God. To you, Jose. I love you, my friend.
Thank you.
Get yourself a win today, and go take care of what you need to, and get that rental car cleaned up, because they're not gonna be.
They're gonna fuck me right in the butt. Right in the butt.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm on the Jays first 5 minus 130. Jose's on the Red Sox full game at plus 130. We move on. 7:10 p.m. Eastern, Detroit Tigers 53 and 58, 21 and 33 on the road. The Cleveland Indians 52 and 54, 26 and 23 at home. We've come to the Gooch play of the day. Detroit money line, Gooch play of the day. We also see that Gas Station Sushi's top 4 picks includes the Tigers money line. Very interesting. Now, I had a really nice cash yesterday Well, I wouldn't say it's really nice because it's minus 115 and $150. So what? It's like $133, some shit. It's not that it was a really nice cash, but it was a very easy cash. I should say, very relaxed, very comforting cash when I needed it badly. We're at Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. 84 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 7 miles per hour out to right field. I have backed Matt Manning before, and I'm not against backing him here. Although it was not part of my plan. 2-4, 5.59 ERA, 1.45 WHIP, 38 and 2/3, 20 Ks. Only 20 Ks and 38 and 2/3 with 13 walks. That K to walk ratio is poor. In his last start, it was at home versus the Orioles. He went 5 and 2/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, 2 of which were earned, 1 homer, 2 walks, 3 Ks, and a 5-2 loss. Cal Quantrill has been pitching very good lately. And it concerns me that there's so much confidence fading him, and I'm happy that I didn't move on this game before this. Luke Murphy says I like runs here. Sean Thompson says Cleveland all day. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, Jose. God, stay focused, man. I can see him in the rental car. I can just see him in the rental car. I just see it. I can just see it, man.
Jimmy, it was everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
Cal Quantrill, 2-2, 3.40 ERA, 1.30 WHIP, 84 and 2/3, 61 Ks, 30 walks, 8 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 innings, allowed 3 hits, 1 run. It wasn't earned. 4 walks, 6 Ks, and a 2-1 loss at the White Sox. He's pitching very well. Tigers last 30 days versus righties, 234 with a 730 OPS. Indians versus righties, 223, 669 OPS. Tigers bullpen over the last 30 days has been improving. 4.13 ERA, 1.36 WHIP. Indians bullpen 3.89 ERA, 1.23 WHIP. Have converted 6 of 12. Let's go over to the baseball data here. Manning has faced these Indians, and they got the best of them. They went 7 for 15 with 2 doubles and 2 jacks against them. Small sample size, but they clearly got him. 467 average, 1.50 OPS. Now, we don't need to take too much into that because he's a young pitcher in his rookie season, but he got touched. And the Tigers have got the Quantrill, 8 for 25 with 3 doubles, 320 with an 819 OPS against them. Donald still says Quantrill seems to have improved his game since last time he saw these Tigers. Can't say the same for Manning, who gave up 9. Robert Allen says Indians own Manning. Sean Thompson says, I like how the Cleveland is grinding out wins against teams like the Jays. That's a team I'll back. Tigers playing well, but they still have no bullpen. Let's move over to what the market has done in this spot, Cleveland, Detroit. This total opens up at 9.5, juice to the under at minus 113. Now it's juice to the over at minus 115 at Pinnacle. There has been a 15-cent move towards the Detroit Tigers, opening up at minus 150, now at minus 135. Ski Profit leaning towards the Indians' first 5. And Mr. Cokes are giving a shout-out to Akil Badu. The guy is Port Hope's finest. Yeah, man, we're Ontario is becoming a baseball factory all of a sudden. Okay, so let's move over to where the cash lies in this spot. We have 3,303 tickets in. 57% of the tickets on the Indians, 44% of the cash on the Indians. A very, very interesting 15-cent move towards the Tigers. And I know that Corey and Gas Station are sitting there going, this is the right side. Interesting. Then for the total, 52% of the tickets on the over and 59% of the cash on the over. Real Deal Price says Cal in a zone. Joey Yurkovich, great to see you, says after the move, the line is perfectly set. Pass. Sean Thompson says, yeah, because Tigers just beat the Red Sox and everyone thinks they're legit. Dutch Boy Fresh in the house. Yeah, Dutchy, Dutchy, what are you going to do with the Yankees today? What are you going to do with the Yankees today? I'd love to hear what you're going to do with the Yankees today. Okay, so I don't feel like, for me, I'm comfortable following the market move. I will cheer you guys on, Corey and Gas. I will cheer you guys on. There's Eric Thomas in the house. I think that the Detroit Tigers, and this is a simple statement, but I think Detroit Tigers are a better baseball team than Cleveland Indians. But I don't know what we're going to get from Matt Manning, and I don't know if those numbers against Cal Quantrill should be as legitimate as we tend to take them for, because Cal Quantrill, over 3 of his last 4 starts, has been very, very good. Okay, no move for me there. We move on to 7:10 p.m. Eastern. The Pittsburgh Pirates, 41-68, 18-38 on the road at Cincinnati Reds, 58-51, 28-27 at home. We're at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio, and Ski Profit expects a disaster for Manning. Interesting. 84 Fahrenheit, overcast, 5 miles per hour, out to left center. JT Brubaker, Wade Miley. Wade Miley has been so good. Wade Miley's been so good. Imagine the Reds laughing right now when Bauer wanted all that cash and they signed Miley for peanuts. And Miley has a 2.92 ERA, 1.23 whip, 8-4. He's been very good. And Brubaker has been so good at home and tough on the road. Patrick Buona says Wade Miley is 9-3 in the first 5. Jake Burns says, should I throw 200 on chalk today? Astros run line, A's run line, maybe Padres run line. Well, we'll go over all that stuff. Sean Thompson says, Dommy Gunn said it best. Dom Ricci, we're talking about time to pick your spots with the Tigers. Yesterday was a great spot. Indians will grind out another one. Robert Allen says Reds first 5, -0.5 all day. All right. So Brubaker 4-10, 4.49 ERA, 1.17 whip, 103 Ks and 102 and a third. He had a great start at home versus the Phillies, but can you trust him on the road is a very, very legitimate question. And let's see if we can get the numbers to back this question up. We're going to move over to it right now. Here we go. Brubaker splits. Brubaker splits. Let's get them up right now. We'll go full splits so we have a better look here. Okay, here we go. At home, he's 3-4 with a 3.65 ERA. On the road, he's 1-6 with a 5.26 ERA. He's got a 252 opponent's batting average against on the road compared to 230 at home. Ross Pitts says Reds. There's CT Bays in the house. Miley's last start, 5-4 extra inning loss at the Mets. He won 7 innings, allowed 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 homer, 3 walks, 2 Ks. He's been having quality starts, but he's been really walking the line of them. Pirates versus lefties last 30 days, 271, 711 OPS. Reds versus righties last 30 days, 258, 791 OPS. Mr. Gold says Pirates Cincinnati, a pass for me. Pirates bullpen 6.54 ERA, 1.71 whip last 30 days, being atrocious. Reds bullpen 5.62 ERA, 1.54 whip, have converted 8 of 17. Let's move over to the odds and the cash and the baseball data. First with the baseball data, Brubaker against these Reds, they're hitting 225 with a 654 OPS. He's been good against them, very good. Wade Miley against the Pirates, 318 with an 830 OPS. So you have Kevin Newman 2 for 5 with 2 doubles. Gregory Polanco 4 for 9. Now those are all singles. So let's move over to the market move here in the Reds game. We have Cincinnati opening up at -215. They're now at -176, a 41-cent move towards the Pittsburgh Pirates. This total opened up at 9. It's now at 9.5. Wild. 41-cent move towards the Pittsburgh Pirates. Let's see where the cash lies and if it explains it. You have 5,081 tickets in, so a nice sample size for us. 21% of the tickets and 22% of the cash on the Pirates, and a 41-cent move towards them. 42% of the tickets and 85% of the cash on the under, but was that in at 9 or 9.5? And CT Bays is on the Indians tonight. CT Bays, I'm off that game, but Gas Station and Corey Simmons are strong on the Detroit Tigers today. Robert Allen says either the games that Reds have to win, and they know that they're going to be focused today. Well, look, that is a monstrous market move towards the Pittsburgh Pirates with a very small amount of money bet on them. And a young pitcher who might be very good with a bad home and road splits. It wouldn't shock me if later in the season he fixed that. And Brubaker is a good pitcher. So I had expected to move on Miley, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I wanted to talk it out. I'm happy I did. This is a stay-off spot for me. We move on to 7:20 p.m. Eastern. Nationals, Braves. We had Michael Irvelina say, Jimmy, I love the Braves to win the division at +225 right now. Phillies don't have a pen. Mets starting pitching is falling apart. Bats are dead. Braves made moves to help with the Acuna injury. Let's talk Nats, Braves right now. Nats are 49-60, 20-30 on the road. Braves 55-54, 27-27 at home. Joe Yurkovich says, Sharp's looking for a regression on Miley and Brubaker solid. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's it. And I think that if I had bigger balls or got to it early, maybe the Pirates are the team to back first 5. I'm not going to mess with the Reds against righties right now. Okay, we're at Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. 82 Fahrenheit, overcast, 7 miles per hour. In Eric Fetty, 4-7, 5.01 ERA, 1.38 WHIP, 82 and 2/3, 76 Ks, 36 walks, 13 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 innings, allowed 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 1 walk, 8 Ks, and a 6.5 win at home versus the Cubs. Kyle Muller on the other side, 2-3, 2.43 ERA, 1.15 WHIP, 29 and 2/3, 33 Ks, 15 walks, 1 home run. He looked good in his last start. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 7 Ks, and an 8-1 win at home versus the Brewers. Now he gets to stay at home. He gets that continuity. I think that should help him. But the Nats versus lefties in the last 30 days are hitting .308 with a .959 OPS. They're smashing them. Braves versus righties, .274, .819 OPS. The Nats bullpen is so bad over the last 30 days. 6.48 ERA, 1.64 WHIP, converted 4-14. Listen to this Braves bullpen, and we have to be aware of it because I cashed that Braves full game yesterday. They're down 4-2 going into the 8th inning. Their bullpen is lights out all of a sudden. Anthopoulos figured the shit out. 2.67 ERA, 1.12 WHIP, converted 5 of 8 over the last 30. I mean, that's real. They have a huge advantage with the bullpen. Brian Watson, yes, the taint is in. The taint play of the day is a parlay. Braves, A's at +108. PG00187 says Nats full game under 9 with the wind blowing in. It's interesting that you feel that way because my initial thought was that the over was in play, but the market, just because of how the Nats are hitting lefties and how the Braves are hitting righties, and Real Deal Prime says LeBlanc was a man last night. He pitched good, and I thought he was going to screw me, but the Cardinals bullpen hurt them badly. We're going to go to baseball data here. Against Fetty, the Braves are hitting .314 with a .958 OPS, and the Nats haven't seen Muller. So then we go to the market next. And here we go. The Braves open up at -180. They're still at -180. This total was juiced to the over 9 at -116. Now it's juiced to the under 9 at -115. So a legitimate move towards the under. So let's pull up where the cash lies in this spot. We have 2,975 tickets in. 78% of the tickets on the Braves, 74% of the cash, and no market movement. 71% of the tickets and 65% of the cash on the over, yet the market's moving towards the under. You know, it just doesn't all correlate. It just doesn't all come together for me. And it's pretty simple. Why on earth is Vegas making it easier for cappers to bet the over when already 71% of the tickets are on it and 65% of cash? Why? My first thought is, got to take the over with the way these two teams are hitting. So why? Why would the Vegas say, please bet the over? We want you to bet the over. Well, it's enough for me not to bet the over. And Donald still says no Soto today, I believe. That's huge. That's huge. And Dirty Cupcake Rusty Kuntz say play today is Monaco Sporting CP at -129 for Slaughter. And look at that. Joe Yurkovich just locked in Pirates first 5 plus a half at +102. Joe, that might be extremely sharp. Mr. Gokster, Atlanta score first. Atlanta first 5 minus a half. Look, that makes sense to me, Mr. Gokster. That makes total sense to me. But why on earth has there been no market move at Pinnacle? None. When you have 78% of tickets, 74% of cash on the Braves. Just doesn't make sense. It just does not make sense. And when it doesn't make sense, I cannot bet on it. So I have to move on. Mr. Ghost says Fetty struggles versus lefties. First 3 at bats for Atlanta: Peterson, Albies, Freeman. All right. We move on. 8:10 p.m. Eastern. Minnesota Twins 46-63, 22-33 on the road at Houston Astros, 65-44, 34-21 at home. We're at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. I expect the roof to be closed, but the weather isn't too hot today. But they've been keeping that roof closed. Bailey Ober going up against Zach Greinke. Ober 1-1, 4.94 ERA, 1.27 WHIP, 47 1/3, 51 Ks, 14 walks, and 11 home runs. In his last start, 4 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, no homers, 1 walk, 6 Ks, and 8-1 win at the Cardinals. I kind of like Ober. But Cardinals bats are quiet right now, so we shouldn't take too much into that last start. Zach Greinke on the other side, 10-3, 3.65 ERA, 1.16 WHIP, 130 and 2/3, 97 Ks, 28 walks, 22 home runs. In his last start, he got beaten up in an 8-6 loss at San Francisco. 4 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, 4 of which were earned, 4 homers, 2 walks, and 4 Ks. The Twins versus righties last 30 days, 257, 778 OPS. There's Sanka in the house. Great to see you, Sanka. Mally Mal says, I feel value on the Twins' first 5. What I don't want to have happen, Mally, is for us to let what we saw yesterday come into what is going to happen here today. Every game is an individual entity. Robert Allen says the Twins are going to possibly make my card. Twins bullpen last 30 days, 4.76 ERA, 1.29 WHIP, have successfully converted 6 of 10. Astros bullpen 3.56 ERA, 1.30 WHIP, have successfully converted 3 of 5. Here we go. Twins. Ober on the mound. The Astros are hitting .438 with a 1.158 OPS against them. They're 7 for 16 with 1 double. Zach Greinke. Against Greinke, they're 7 for 29. They're hitting .241 with a 543 OPS. We have Greinke coming off a bad game and a bounce back opportunity possibly for him. Let's go over to Zach Greinke's splits. Let's go over to Zach Greinke's splits right now. Here we go. Greinke, who's had a good season, and he's coming off a terrible performance. Here we go. At home, he's 5-3 with a 4.59 ERA. Opponents are hitting .280 off of him. On the road, he's 5-0 with a 2.67 ERA. Opponents hitting .217 off of him. How is that? Because he didn't get the loss in that Giants game. They came back to tie it up, so he didn't get the loss. So can you trust that Greinke is going to come back home and pitch well? Sean Thompson says on the road, I like Greinke. All right, so let's see what the market move has happened here in this Houston spot. Houston opens up at -239. Look at this. A 55-cent move towards the Minnesota Twins. 55 cents. And this total opens up at 9.5. It's now at 9. 55-cent move to the dog. Let's take a look at the cash. Here we go. 4,098 tickets in. 72% of the tickets, 63% of the cash on the Astros, and a 56-cent move? 67% of the tickets and 65% of the cash on the over. And yet, this has gone from 9.5 to 9. Just a ton of mixed signals in this game. First off, if you wanted the Twins, you had to get on them earlier. I think it just comes down to that. And focus on your bets as Astros -2.5. Wow. I mean, that's just – I mean, the market's throwing us for a loop on a lot of these games here. Robbie Allen said that's very telling of what the Sharps are on in this game. You know, I'm not sold that that's the case, Robert. I'm not sold that that's the case. I have to suspect that there's a recency bias going on. I have to suspect that. And at that opening line, yeah, the Twins had value. Do they have value now? I don't think so. Lee Shipley, I get him from Sports Insights. It's a pretty pricey site. Costs a lot to have it, and they're considered the gold standard. Sean Thompson says not with that price, Jimmy, but I'll back the Astros today. Well, you're getting a better line on the Astros. Okay, we're going to move on to 8:10 p.m. Eastern. I still have only 2 bets on this card. San Francisco Giants, 69-40, 34-23 on the road at Milwaukee Brewers, 65-44, 31-25 at home. We're at American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 77 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 8 miles per hour out to the left field pole. Logan Webb, Robert Allen, that line opened at Pinnacle with Houston at -239. Jesus, that's wild. Oh, shit, that's Intertop. So I move over to... Wow, look at that. And it didn't even go down right away. In an hour and a half, it went down 2 cents. It took 2 hours and 15 minutes to get to +200. Then it was at +200 till midnight, and it started going up. Got +202 at 1 in the morning. That's when it started getting hit. And when it gets hit around that time, I always think, maybe I'm just like sexualizing our industry. But I always think it's a European syndicate that comes in around that time when they come in at like 1 or 2 in the morning for us. But that just might be me trying to make it very, very okay. And R saying Phillies hit Stroman hard. Yes, I use Fangraphs. R. That's what I use. Okay. Giants are 69-40, 34-23 on the road. Brewers 65-44, 31-25 at home. 77 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 8 miles per hour out to the left field pole. Logan Webb, 5-3, 3.33 ERA, 1.2 on whip, 73 Ks, 73 innings, 23 walks, 6 home runs. His last start at home versus the Astros, he went 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 1 walk, 3 Ks, and a 5-3 win. Corbin Burns, 6-4, 2.46 ERA, 0.97 whip, 106 innings, 152 Ks, 20 walks, and 4 home runs. Corbin Burns got me in his last start. And there was a lot of talk from Sharpie. Sharpie signing his kids up at school this morning. That's why he can't be on the show. Sharpie and Christopher Gargaro, a lot of talk about the situation with Burns' spin rate dropping dramatically after the sticky issue went down, and he looked bad at the Braves. Lee Shipley says cannot pass up plus money with the Giants. The Giants in the last 30 days versus righties, 251 with a 799 OPS. Brewers versus righties, 240 with a 742 OPS. Giants bullpen and Brewers bullpen both been great over the last 30 days. Giants bullpen 3.33 ERA, 1.09 whip, converted 8 of 12. Brewers bullpen 3.16 ERA, 1.19 whip, converted 4 of 8. Billy Pilgrim says Brewers got COVID issues. Yes, they do. Marissa A says Giants got one on a silver platter after Kelly came out of the game. Okay, let's take a look at the baseball data here in this spot. Only 4 Brewers have seen Logan Webb. They're 4 for 12 against him with a jack, and that's just Bradley, Wong, Escobar, and Urias. Against Corbin Burns, these Giants are hitting 308, but with a 679 OPS, so they're 8 for 26. But that's 7 singles in a double. Just 7 singles in a double. And do we expect Corbin Burns to have a bounce-back performance? Because he's been so good at home and bad. Well, not bad on the road, but worse on the road. But let me make sure that I have stats to back up that statement. Let's go over here right now and see the splits for Corbin Burns and ensure that that is the case. Corbin Burns has had such a strong year. Spin rate down dramatically since the sticky stuff issue. Coming off a bad start. And he's been fine at both home and the road. He's been fine. He's been spectacular in the day, a little worse at night. Okay. Let's see what we're getting from a market situation here. So the Giants, this total opens up at 7.5, moves to 8. The Brewers go from minus 148 to minus 145. So a 3-cent move towards the San Francisco Giants, a 3-cent move towards the Giants, 2,332 tickets in. And look at this. 50-50 with the tickets, but 89% of the cash is on the Giants and just a 2-cent move towards them. Strange. 68% of the tickets and 66% of the cash on the over and the market moving towards them. Mr. Gokster says Webb is not nearly as good on the road. Let's move over to Webb and see what his numbers are, his splits. And we're going to the splits so often now because it's late in the season and we can trust the sample size that starting on Tuesday, I'll have every pitcher splits up. And I don't trust the splits. That's the reason why I don't talk about it much until later in the season, just because I think the sample size is so low. But at home, Logan Webb's 3-0 with a 1.85 ERA. Opponents batting 207 against him. On the road, 4.62 ERA. Opponents hitting 261 against him. So I guess the issue here, and I think that we need to keep a really close eye on the market. But I think the situation here is that we expect the early bets to be sharp money. We always do, because the public bets later in the day. If that's the case, do we want to go up against the sharps who are backing the Giants here? Yes, I expect the roof to be open, Joe, but I don't have that information yet. I think that Logan Webb's road deficiencies are real. That Corbin Burns should be able to bounce back off a bad start at home. But I'm hesitant to take anything that's juiced. I mean, it would be pretty costly to take the Brewers' first 5. It's too costly. I can't do it. Brewers' first 5, you'd have to take them minus a half run. I'll just see what that would be if I bet that right this very second. And if I bet it right now, first 5, Brewers minus a half at minus 120. It's not terrible. If I took them first 4.5, it'd be minus a half at plus 120. I don't want to do that, but I do like that plus line. Joe Yurkovich says COVID causing that line move may be justified. Well, it would be justified for the full game move. CT Bay says Brewers with an off day and Giants had to travel. Brewers probably win tonight. Sean Thompson says, why wouldn't you want to take the Giants here? I don't trust Logan Webb on the road. I think there's a legitimate advantage with Corbin Burns, even though he's coming off a bad start. Look, the Giants are rolling right now. And Brian Watson, it was incredible. I think that we're probably getting a discount on the Brew Crew first 5. I would love to hear what Nutflush Allen has to say about that. This may be my first edition. Brewers first 5, minus a half at minus 120. Maybe my first edition. Molly Mouse says Burns Nace. He was at one point. Mr. Nimbus says Brew Crew at home is the difference. 31 and 25 at home, though. Not spectacular numbers. Okay, so I'm definitely leaning towards moving on that first 5 minus half on the Brewers at home. And I think I will. You know, the Giants don't get off the hot starts on the road. They just sort of wear down their opponents. And I think that CT Bays made a great point here. And he's made a bunch of them, as he always does. But he says Brewers with an off day, Giants had to travel. Brewers probably win tonight. But he says not going to bet this game, though, not the right price on the Brewers. CT Bay says Peralta is their best pitcher. Hey, look, who was the first person to say that? I said that beginning of the year when people didn't agree with me. Okay. All right, let's move on. Luke Murphy says sluggish start for the Giants today. Malimouse says this game looks like Brewers first 5. Maybe Giants come back. Real Deal Prime says understand the logic. Good luck on this one. All right, that is a possible addition at this point, and I think it will be an addition. I think I've talked enough. Will be an addition. And there's focus on your bets action right there. Mr. Nimbus says, Jimmy, who do you like to win the NL East? In all honesty, I would really like to look at the schedule. I'd really like to take a good look at the schedule, Mr. Nimbus, and I don't want to just fire it out right now. But the fact that the Braves bullpen is pitching the way they are, things have changed. Things have changed in that clubhouse. Okay. Let's move. And Joe Europe says Burns more established than Webb. Burns tax, but also Webb is just not being as good on the road. And Mr. Gokster pointed that out. Let's move on to 8:15 p.m. Eastern. That's next up. Kansas City Royals 47 and 60, 19 and 35 on the road at the St. Louis Cardinals 53 and 55, 30 and 24 at home. And we come to Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day on the St. Louis Cardinals. 85 Fahrenheit clear, 9 miles per hour out to left field pole. Mike Minor going up against Adam Wainwright. Minor 8 and 9. 5.31 ERA, 1.25 whip, 125 in the third, 121 Ks, 37 walks, 19 home runs. Last start, 7 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 homers, 1 walk, 6 Ks, and the 4-0 loss at the Jays. Wainwright, 9 and 6, 3.53 ERA, 1.11 whip, 132 and 2/3, 124 Ks, 35 walks, and 17 home runs. In Wainwright's last start, he allowed 3 earned runs, 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 homer, 1 walk, 5 Ks, and a 7-3 win at home versus the Mets. Consecutive home starts is something where Wainwright really starts to step up. Royals versus righties, by the way, and we talked about, I was on the Royals first 5 yesterday at plus 145. I should have got a better line. Whatever. Royals smashed lefties. They're smashing lefties. Now, they didn't really smash Keuchel, but they're hitting righties poorly. 221, 653 OPS over the last 30 days. I mean, that's bad. And look at the Cards versus righties, 267, 7. But why am I talking about righties? Mike Minor's a lefty. Jesus, I didn't. God, my apologies there. Why do I have that there? Oh, awful. Hate when I make mistakes like that. All right, let's pull up the numbers against lefties. God, I hate when I make foolish mistakes like that. Okay, here we're going to move over to Fangraphs, switch the date, update, move over to batting versus lefties. God. My fault. That's a very annoying mistake. Okay, here we go. Against lefties in the last 30 days, they're hitting 253 with a 783 OPS. Smashing them. Mouse says, I see Mike Minor's name. I think under Mike Minor's not being that pitcher this year. He's not being good this year. Not to be trusted. So It's not the Royals. What am I doing here? I keep screwing this up. Okay. Mike Minor is a lefty, so it's Cards versus lefties, Royals versus righties. Jesus, what the hell's wrong with me? How did I screw this up that badly? So I don't care what the Royals are doing. I care about what the Cardinals are doing against lefties. Okay, so here we go. St. Louis against lefties. Here's the biggest stat. God, I'm sorry that I messed this up. 230 average with a 675 OPS. That's what the lefties. That's Cardinals versus lefties. The Cardinals aren't hitting lefties at all. And the Royals aren't hitting righties at all. So we have the Cardinals not hitting lefties, the Royals not hitting righties. So let's go over, and then Mr. Nimbus says Minor has reverse splits, as I'm remembering. Let's go over the Minor's splits, because if we can take advantage of the Royals and Cardinals' weakness against the opposite arm, then why wouldn't we bet right now the under? So let's take a look and see what's going on here. Mike Minor. We know that Wainwright's great at home, but we'll double check that as well. Here we go. Mike Minor splits. He's had a bad season. Nobody wanted him at the deadline. He's got it's very average. 5.37 ERA at home, 5.25 on the road. Nothing going there. And then let's check Wainwright, who had terrible splits last year, but his road performances have really picked up over the last 6 weeks. We go over to Adam Wainwright, and we have the splits for Wainwright. A nice spot where his consecutive home starts. At home, he's 5-4 to 2.79 ERA, over 2 runs better at home, and opponents are hitting just 210 against him. Mr. Gosha says, I like this under, but love the no-run first inning. Okay, so let's take a look and see what this total is. First off, in the first 5, we have it opening at 4.5 and now at 4 at Pinnacle, but it's not 4 everywhere. Let's see what it is here. God, you need to get that 4.5. Why didn't I figure this out beforehand? It's 4.5 minus 120 at Bet365. That makes a ton of sense to me. I'm going to see if I can get that. I'm going to try to get that. Hopefully I can, but we got to keep moving right now. I'm not going to sit here and do it, but I'm going to try to add. Wait. Let me look at the baseball data here before I jump all over it. Here we go. Against Mike Minor, they're hitting 405 with a 1.169 OPS. So there you go. The Cardinals aren't hitting lefties, but they can smash Mike Minor. God, that's tricky. It's 15 for 37. Now, we saw similar stuff with Bundy yesterday, and he stepped up. But how do you take an under when you see that? And against Wainwright, 288, 795 OPS. I think the answer is you can't take the under. Let's take a look at where the market has gone. Cash-wise, we have just 2,000 tickets in, 1,904. We have 59% of the tickets and 39% of the cash on the Cardinals. That's very interesting. And then we have 80% of the tickets on the over, and we don't know where the cash is. You just can't. I guess you just can't. Joey Griffith says Cardinals just threw 3 straight horrible lefties. Now they throw a respectable Wainwright. They should win here, but the price is spot on. And Real Deal Prime says mixed messages. Mr. Nimbus says mine are terrible this year regardless. And Adam Denningman says, I don't have splits, but Cardinals love no run first inning. I agree, Marissa. Donald still says got to be Cards first 5 minus half. I can't trust the way the Cards are hitting lefties. I can't trust it that they'll get after Minor. I can't trust it. So I can't take the first 5 under 4.5. Although I get it. Billy Pilgrim says 16th game in 16 days for the Royals. And Mr. Nimbus is sloppy and gross game. Okay, I'm cutting that off, taking that off. Not going to be on my list. Okay, we move on. 8:40 p.m. Eastern. Next up, Miami Marlins 47-62, 20-35 on the road at the Rockies, 48-61, 35-21 at home. We're at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. 88 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 13 miles per hour out to right center. Sandy Alcantara, 6-9, 3.12 ERA, 1.12 WHIP, 132 and 2/3, 120 Ks, 39 walks, 12 home runs. Last start was a thing of beauty. Now they lost at home to the Yankees 3-1, but 7 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 10 Ks. It was gorgeous. Going up against German Marquez, 9-8, 3.51 ERA, 1.17 WHIP, 130 and 2/3, 134 Ks, 48 walks, 11 home runs. Mr. Nimbus says under. And this was a move I almost made, but the market had already moved from 10 to 9.5. A 9.5 total at Coors Field is a rarity. Last start for Marquez was at San Diego. The marine layer was in effect, but he pitched well. There's our guy Noli Nose in the house. In talks with Noli Nose. We got to get Noli Nose on this show. Get him involved with us at Pub Sports Radio. Robbie Allen says Rockies. Marquez, last start, 2 earned runs in 6 innings, 4 walks, 7 Ks, 5-3 win of the Padres. Marlins versus righties, last 30 days, 246, 715 OPS. Rockies versus righties, 257, 741 OPS. Marlins bullpen, last 30 days and all year has been good. It's just the back end has been suspect, but the middle relievers are doing a hell of a job. 3.04 ERA, 1.24 whip, but only converted 5 of 9. Rockies bullpen struggling, and they started turning it around, but that's over. 5.06 ERA, 1.34 whip over the last 30. And 6 of 10. Rem Mo says weather and wind at Coors 88 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 13 miles per hour out to right center at Coors Field. Sean Thompson says Marlins plus money is nice here. Let's take a look at the baseball data and see if they agree with everything that we're saying. Against Alcantara, they're hitting 143 with a 422 OPS, 4 for 28 with 3 singles and a homer. Against Marquez, 255 with a 720 OPS. Very, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Mr. Nimbus says Marlins at the price, and R says first 5 under, good bet. So let's see what the market has done here, because I remember already seeing 10 to 9.5. For the first five, we open at 5.5, and it's now at 5. So the 5 had been a win, and now it's a push for full game. And I don't think you should ever chase. If you don't get in at the 5.5, if you change your bet's win probability to that drastic, I don't think you should reach for it. I think there's on a full card in MLB, I just don't think you need to reach for it. Here we go. Colorado, Miami, full game. The 10 has gone to 9.5. Juice to the over. And the Rockies open up at minus 141. They're now minus 156. So a 15-cent move to I'll check out Alcantara's splits, but let's see this 15-cent move towards the Rockies if it makes sense with where the cash lies. And here we go. 3,984 tickets in. 59% of the tickets on Colorado, 84% of the cash. Wow. 69% of tickets and 78% of the cash on the under, and it's moved from 10 to 9.5. That makes perfect sense. Wow. Okay, so Alcantara splits, and Adam Denningham saying he just dominated the Yankees on the road. I have that at home. So let me see if that better not be another mistake for my capping this morning. Here we go. The Fish Rockies spot right now. We have 3 games left on the card. And we're going to look at Alcantara. And his last start against the Yankees was at home. So it's definitely at home. And he's lights out at home. Now let's see his full splits here. Full splits for Sandy. At home, he's got a 2.58 ERA. Opponents earning 195 against him. On the road, 3.71 ERA. Opponents earning 249 against him. And he's not seen Colorado this year. Huh. I hear that. Okay. Well, I don't know what to do here. Sean Thompson says under at Coors not where you make your money. Look, I can understand the idea for you guys betting the under here. I can't do it when 10 was a push and 9.5 was a win. In fact, this would be a nice spot to live bet the over because the Rockies bullpen is so weak. So CT Bay says Marquez at home. This one is simple. I don't know if it's simple just because the Rockies are hitting 143 with a 422 OPS against Sandy Alcantara. But I hear you. Marquez at home, he's been spectacular. Elliot V says Rockies money line. All right. And PG saying first 5 under 5. Look, if it was still a 5.5, I'd be right there with you. But the 5 has to be a win. It can't be a push. You're only going to win if only 4 runs are scored when it's 13 miles per hour out to right center and a fly ball becomes a home run in the thin air. It's dangerous. Dangerous. Okay. And woo says betting the Rockies is never simple. Excellent point. Excellent point. Okay. Let's move on. No addition for me. We move on to 9:40 p.m. Eastern. Texas Rangers at Oakland Athletics. It's Mike Fulton-Avich Day. But every gambler knew it. And as soon as that line came out, in 20 minutes, there was a 50-cent move towards the Oakland A's because Fulton-Avich is such a bum. Rangers 39-70, 13-40 on the road. Athletics 61-48, 31-25 at home. We're at Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. 71 Fahrenheit, clear, 8 miles per hour to center. Fulton-Avich 2-10, 6 ERA, 1.35 WHIP, 111 innings, 78 Ks, 28 walks, 31 home runs. His last start, he went 5 innings, allowed 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 1 K, and a 4-3 win at home versus the Mariners. Bassett, awesome at home and coming off a really nice road start. 7 innings, 6 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 7 Ks, and a 2-0 win at the Angels. Bassett 11-3, 3.28 ERA, 1.06 WHIP, 139 Ks, 33 walks on the season. The Rangers over the last 30 days versus righties, 192, 625 OPS, terrible. And the A's are only slightly better than that at 215 with a 640 OPS. And the Rangers bullpen is all of a sudden looking very strong. Last 30 days, 3.53 ERA, 1.22 WHIP. Noli Knows says that's the 4th best under team in Major League Baseball. Robert Allen says Fulte starts throwing a temper tantrum every time he's on the mound. He seriously can't control his anger. Sean Thompson said this is an under. Neither teams are hitting righties, and both bullpens are pitching very well right now. Let's take a look at the baseball data and then the cash. Here we go. Against Fulton-Avich, they're hitting 204 with a 689 OPS. He's good against them. Against Bassett, 143 with a 393 OPS. Wow. You have to think, and this is the second half of Matty Ice's taint parlay, is Oakland money line at plus 108. JT says can't trust Faulty. Mr. Nimbus says can't control his fastball either. All right, so let's see what we're dealing with here now because we had that enormous move towards the A's early, and it's just gone up. So we've had from the opening line at Pinnacle, a 79-cent move towards the Oakland A's. And this total at 8. At just 8. Choose to the under. 8. Wow. With Fulton-Avich on the mound, this total is sitting at 8. And the A's are team totals at 4.5. Rangers team totals at 2.5. Mr. Goldster says low-hanging fruit day. Fade Fulte. Turnsey said, did I miss Jose's appearance? You did, Turnsey. It was a thing of beauty. It was a great, great appearance from our man, Jose. Real Deal Prime says Bassett pitches a gem. Rangers don't score. Can Fulton-Avich keep the A's off the board? Can we trust? Joe Yurkovich says road division dogs in this price range are value. Rangers some way or pass. I agree. Even though Elliott says Bassett's bet on, I get that. And Joe Yurkovich, you'd be proud of my Kansas City Royals play yesterday. A's score first. I mean, that's got to be ridiculously juiced, even though Texas gets the first opportunity. Let's check that out very quickly here. I don't see what move to make here. Sure, Bassett throws a gem, and yes, I can trust the Texas Rangers bullpen, but an 8? An 8's just the market just seems so sharp here. All right, let's see. Wow, A's to score first is only minus 175. Wow, it's too juice for me to bet, but okay. 79-cent move towards the. So yeah, you can do what Matty Ice is doing. Use the A's as a parlay piece if you want, but you had to get on the A's immediately when the line came out. And Mr. Gogster. Minus 130 at Penny? You got to be kidding me. It's 45 cents better for A's to score first? That's crazy. Mally Mouse says low total like that means he might pitch good. Yeah. Not yet, Brian Watson, but I will be capping CFL this year and just a little hesitant to start the year. Elliot V says Oakland first 5. But at what number? Are you going to get a minus 2? Okay, I don't see a way to make money here. I think the line is very sharp. The total, I think it's okay. I'm off. We have 2 games left on the card. Let's attack the next one because I find it so interesting, and I want to back Patrick Sandoval. Angels are 55-54, 25-28 on the road at the Dodgers, 65-44, 34-19 at home. Great to see Dennis Garcia joining us. Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, California, 75 Fahrenheit clear, 6 miles per hour out to center. Patrick Sandoval, 3-5, 3.38 ERA, 1.15 WHIP, 77 in the third, 87 Ks, 32 walks, 10 home runs. Last start, 5 2/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, no homers, 6 walks, and 6 Ks, and a 2-0 loss at home versus the A's. And I backed that under, and there was a question whether Patrick Sandoval would be able to have a second strong performance. And it wasn't nearly as strong as the one before when he almost threw the no-no. But he had a good performance bending but not breaking at home versus the A's. And I think he's a better pitcher than David Price, who's 4-1 with a 3.55 ERA, 1.45 WHIP, 42 Ks and 45 2/3. Price's last start was not good. It was at the Giants, 4 1/3, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 3 walks, 2 Ks and a 5-0 loss. The Angels are hitting 254, 745 OPS versus lefties. The Dodgers are raking lefties, 265, 845 OPS. Both bullpens have been middling of late. Angels last 30 days, 4.48 ERA, 1.45 WHIP. There's Juan Juarez in the house. And the Dodgers bullpen, 4.39 ERA, 1.31 WHIP, and have converted just 2 of 7 save opportunities. Let's go to baseball data. Against Sandoval, the Dodgers are hitting 250 with a 931 OPS. So they're 8 for 32. But 3 of those 8 hits are homers by Mookie, Cody Bellinger, and A.J. Pollock. That's dangerous. My first thought was I am going to bet and trust Patrick Sandoval here. But I can't do it with those numbers against them. And in my head, the Dodgers are weak against lefties, but the last 30 days show you 269, 845 OPS. Wow, Canada Bronze and men's 4x100. I love it, Puzzler. Okay, so let's move on to what the market has done in this spot. Dodgers, Angels. We have the Dodgers opening up at minus 181. They're now minus 199, an 18-cent move towards them. And this total's gone from 9 to 8.5. So let's see where the cash lies in this game. And here we go. We have 3,177 tickets in, 66% of the tickets, 82% of the cash on the Dodgers. So that all makes sense. But then 75% of the tickets and 92% of the cash on the over. On the over, yet it's dropped a half run. Huh. Very, very, very interesting. So I think that Patrick Sandoval is the better pitcher, but I'm a little afraid of these Dodgers bats. And I would like to put a line through some of the stats against Patrick Sandoval because right now he's throwing better than he's ever pitched. I mean, he's pitching incredibly well. So what do you do? What could you possibly do? Now, one thing you could do is think that Price is susceptible and the Angels get the first opportunity at bat. Maybe they can cash the score first before the Dodgers even get a chance, and that's at minus 120. That's at minus 120. So you can just say, look, I need the first few batters in the Angels lineup to get to David Price. Big Show Picks, happy birthday. Our man Big Show Picks in the house. Much love for you. Big Show, happy birthday. Thank you for joining us. And says a Tigers win would be nice on the birthday. Respect, Big Show. What about the Angels going first on David Price? What if the Angels could cash this ticket before the Dodgers even get an opportunity? It makes sense to me. I want to attack David Price. And I could seemingly cash this bet before the Dodgers even get an opportunity, and I am pulling the trigger. Angels score first. Angels score first is now on my card. All right, we move on to 10:10 p.m. Eastern, the final game on the card. Arizona Diamond and Ross Pitt says take the over. I'm a little concerned, Ross, about the total going from 9 to 8.5, and it's going from 9 to 8.5 when all the money's on the over. Why? Why would Vegas want you to find the over even more appealing now? So Luke Murphy says run in the first inning is minus 125. I don't dislike that at all, Luke. Okay, we move on to Diamondbacks Padres. Diamondbacks 34-76, 13-41 on the road at the Padres 62-48. Mike M, I got that. We'll see what it is, but right now it's minus 120 at Bet365. And they juice those things so bad, man. There's 20 cents on each side, so it's not a bet I want to bet a lot of. Okay, Petco Park, San Diego, California, 68 Fahrenheit clear, 6 miles per hour to right field. Caleb Smith has been terrible of late. 3-8, 5.04 ERA, 1.39 whip on the year, 99 Ks and 85 2/3, but 47 walks, 15 home runs allowed. His last start, he lasted 1 2/3 innings. That's it. He allowed 3 hits, 5 earned runs, 5 walks, 3 Ks, and 13-0 loss at home versus the Dodgers. Now he hits the road, goes up against Ryan Weathers, who's also coming off an abysmal start. At home versus the Rockies, he lost 4 innings. He goes 4 innings, lost 8 hits, 8 earned runs, 3 homers, 3 walks, and 2 Ks. Weathers on the year, 3.65 ERA, 1.25 whip, 48 Ks and 66 2/3. Dodgers versus lefties, 256. Diamondbacks versus lefties, 256, 762 OPS. Padres over the last 30 days. Padres versus lefties, 281, 766 OPS. The Diamondbacks bullpen has been so bad over the last 30 days. 6.67 ERA, 1.62 whip. Padres bullpen 3.07 ERA, 1.28 whip over that stretch. Converted 6 of 11 save opportunities. Okay, so let's see what the market says, and let's take a look at the baseball data. And we have Caleb Smith. They're hitting 237 with a 694 OPS against Caleb Smith, but this isn't the Caleb Smith we remember. And I do have a vividness bias of Caleb Smith being a good pitcher. I've got to let that shit go. Against Weathers, 4 at-bats, so that doesn't help us there. Let's take a look at the market right now. Sean Thompson says, LA Angels, guys, Angels, because price. Dodgers win this asleep underwater. I don't know. I'm not saying they don't. And look, I'm not going to sit here and take the Angels full game. But I think that Patrick Sandoval is a better pitcher than David Price at this point in Price's career. Smith Legacy, that's an important piece because I get them from Fangraphs. Fangraphs have helped enormously because there's some stuff out there that isn't completely legit. And MLB.com is one of them. MLB.com does not update certain parts of their statistics. Okay, so Johnny K says like the over. Let's take a look at this market here. Okay, the Padres opened up at minus 202. They're now minus 211. Nice. Yeah, Smith Legacy, use it. Use the splits on Fangraphs. Excellent. They do excellent work. This total opened up at 8.5 at the pick'em. It's now 8.5 at minus 114. So an 8-cent move to the over. So we have an 8-cent move to the over and a 9-cent move to the Padres. Okay. So let's move to the cash and see if that all flies. 3,366 tickets in. 66% of the tickets and 81% of the cash on the Padres and an 11-cent move. Would you expect more? I think so. I think I would expect a little more. Then we have 72% of the tickets on the over, 76% of cash on the over. 72 and 76. And this total has moved 8 cents. Well, that makes sense to me. That all makes sense to me. Now, I'm not saying that Ryan Weathers is incapable of having a bounce-back start, but he's not going to go deep. And if the Padres have a lead, they don't need to use the best pieces of their bullpen. So why wouldn't this be an over? Now we're dealing with the marine layer, but 6 miles per hour to right field. The cash is on the over, the juice moving to the over. You want to attack the Diamondbacks bullpen. I've been hurt by Padres overs in the past. But why wouldn't this be an over for us to attack? I think that everything correlates here. There's Logan Collins. He should be late after that huge score on the Marlins last night. Respect Logan Collins. God damn, that was a gorgeous bet. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, Logan. I love that shit. What a thing of beauty, my man. Mally Mal wants action on this daytime game. Look, I get it, but I've tried to stay away from that. Okay, I think the over's in effect here. I think the over's in effect. There's a market move towards it. Everything kind of correlates for me. So I'm going to now bet it. Sean Thompson says it's an over, but they won't get there because they don't care. Woo said move to the over, move to the Padres. Seems like a team total over for the Padres 4.5. I like that play as well, Luke Murphy. Look, I don't dislike that play. Let's take a look at that spot here, and then we'll put a bow on this show. Move over to the spot. So the full game over is 8.5 at -120, and then the Padres team total over is at -145. I want the beautiful, Logan, beautiful. I want the Diamondbacks to help here. Wow, and Yo Yurkovich just locked in text range +1 at +125. Yes, Trinity, I'm going to go over everything right now, so you're actually good timing. Billy Pilgrim says Ryan Weathers 5.79 ERA, 1.50 WHIP at home, but San Diego's 4-3, 2.28 ERA, 1.18 WHIP on the road, but San Diego's 2-4. Yeah, but we're in San Diego. I think that I think the over is going to be in play here. Over 8.5. I'm moving on it. All right. There you go. Let's go over the entire card and all of the action. We stopped the bleeding in the last race. It's the last race, so I'm thinking horses. We stopped the bleeding yesterday. 3-1 plus 2.40 units. Need to keep that going now badly. Let's go. 2:20 p.m. Eastern, White Sox Cubs. No move from me. I wish I could, but just don't feel comfortable with everything. The wind blowing out, Lynn and Hendricks bad numbers against the opposition. And I trust both pitchers. So it's a no move for me. Then 7 p.m., we have Gambler's First Glance on the Mets at +100. And focus on your bets. Mets -1.5 is his biggest bet of the day. And I'm off this game. Mets, Phillies. Then we have Mariners, Yankees. The market is telling us that the Mariners have a ton of value here. Maybe this is a live bet spot if Wandy Peralta gets touched early. I want to be back in the Yankees, but the market kept me off yesterday. And I know Logan hit his -1.5, but we were looking at the team total over at 5.5. I was looking at the Yankees first 5. I do not think I would have been sitting there with a positive day. My first look is the Orioles first 5 +110. I didn't get a very good line. The market's moving towards the Rays. I'm a little nervous about it, but I'm on it. My next spot is the Blue Jays first 5 at -130. It is with the Rusty Kuntz play of the day of the Blue Jays score first. And Rusty Kuntz, I think you got that at +110. How did I not? I thought I copied and pasted that, but I don't see it here. So I'm going to write that here on the spot. So Rusty Kuntz play of the day. Jays score first. My bad for not popping that in. Jays score first is the Rusty Kuntz play of the day. So focus on your bets. His biggest bet is on the Mets, but his gooch play of the day is Detroit money line. And I ended up staying off this spot. But the market moved towards the Tigers and seeing gas station sushi on the Tigers, Corey Simmons on the Tigers. It's very interesting. And then seeing CT Bays on the other side with the Indians, I'm comfortable to stay off. Then and there's Nut Flush Allen in the house. Says when you don't put Ohtani in the lineup, that tells you how much the Angels care. Yeah. Pirates, Reds, no move for me, but we saw Joe Yurkovich move on the Pirates first 5 +1/2, and that might be a very sharp play. Not often, Logan. No, I was no. I was receiving some I use Twitter, Logan. Twitter's my thing. You know, I don't take pictures of anything. I don't take pictures. I've never taken a selfie in my entire life, so I don't have Instagram and that shit. I don't even. Oh. All right, then we have Nationals, Braves, no move for me. Twins, Astros, no move. Brewers, first 5 minus a half at minus 120 will be in addition to my card. Brewers, first 5 minus a half at minus 120. Then Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day is the St. Louis Cardinals at minus 153. Marlins, Rockies, I'm staying off. Rangers, A's, off. And then I'm on the Angels to score first at minus 120. And the over 8.5 in Arizona, San Diego. That is it. Okay, we're going to put a bow on this show. Ella, you want to say hi to everybody at the end of the show? You want to come here and say hi? Okay, we are done our week here, taking Ella and the fam to Niagara Falls here shortly. Are you excited? Holiday house?
Yeah.
Yeah, we go swimming? Yeah. Nice. But thank you guys for sticking with see you. Thank you guys. Okay. Thank you guys for everything. This show is special because of the chat and because of all you guys putting your hard work, all your insights into the chat. It means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for your support. Big shout out to all of you guys. Turnsy66, Gerald Jones, Sunny Springs, Mr. Gokster, CT Bays, Logan Collins, Sean Thompson, R, Johnny K. Focus on your bets, Mally Mal. Great group. Luke Murphy, the esteemed novelist. Real Deal Prime. All you guys. Billy Pilgrim. Joe Yurkovich. One more time. Thank you guys. Have an incredible weekend. Let's get that cash. We going to get that cash? We going to get paid in full? Okay. Thank you guys. Let's go. Let's have ourselves a day. We got C-Mac and Babano at 4 p.m. Let's get paid in full. Sorry? Leche. Hey, Los Bookmakers!